Gah, look at you, breathing like it still costs something, eyes trembling like they've seen too much, but still refusing to close. You think that's a coincidence? You think you chose to survive? No, you were chosen. And the funny thing about being chosen is that it never feels like a gift. It feels like exile, like punishment dressed as purpose. You keep wondering why you never belong anywhere, why no one truly understands you, why the noise of the world never syncs with the rhythm of your mind. It's because you weren't designed to blend in with their broken frequencies. You were made to disrupt them. You were made to stand alone. But that phrase, oh, it sounds so heroic when people whisper it online, doesn't it? Stand alone. They post it with pretty fonts and filters, like it's some romantic act of rebellion. They have no idea what it really means. They've never felt the silence of being the last one left. They've never felt the world point its trembling finger at them and say, "You're too much. You're too dark. You're too intense." But that's the irony. God doesn't build soldiers out of safety. He builds them out of storms. He didn't make you to fit in because he hid too much fire inside you. Fire doesn't blend, it burns. And the ones who can't handle your heat, they'll call you crazy, cold, cruel. But deep down, they'll know you're everything they wish they had the courage to be. You've been punished for being awake in a world that's still asleep. You've been hated for the same truth they secretly crave. Because you see things they don't, feel things they bury, and speak words that cut through their illusions like glass. That's not arrogance, that's awareness. And awareness is the most painful gift of all. There's a moment when the chosen ones snap, not in rage, in realization. That's when the laughter starts, the quiet kind, the dangerous kind, because you finally see the pattern. The pain was never meant to break you. It was sculpting you. Every betrayal sharpened your vision. Every loss taught you silence. Every wound became a portal to something divine. You're not broken, you're reassembled, and the world can't digest what doesn't conform. So they'll try to silence you, label you, fix you, tame you, because they know if you ever stop apologizing for who you are, you'll become unstoppable. That's why God isolated you, not to punish you, to prepare you. He didn't make you the echo. He made you the voice. He didn't give you followers. He gave you shadows. And those shadows, they watch you, learn from you, fear you. Because deep down, they recognize something they lost long ago. The courage to stand alone. You see, to stand alone isn't just to walk a lonely road. It's to become a mirror the world can't look into. It's to carry both heaven and hell in your chest and never let one kill the other. It's to laugh when they call you a villain, because you know the world always crucifies its saviors before it worships them. You are the paradox, the angel with the devil's grin, the storm that heals, the sinner who prays through blood-stained hands. And that's what terrifies them, your duality, because it means you've transcended their little boxes of good and evil and stepped into something far more dangerous, truth. So when they walk away, let them. When they mock you, let them. When they say you've changed, smile. You were never supposed to stay the same. Growth feels like insanity to those addicted to comfort. You were never meant to be understood. You were meant to be felt. And one day, they'll look at you, the one they doubted, the one they dismissed, and whisper, "Who the hell is this person?" And you'll smile that quiet, knowing smile, because you'll finally understand. God didn't make you to fit in. He made you to remind the world what happens when someone refuses to bow. He made you the exception, the misfit, the divine mistake that turns out to be the masterpiece. So go ahead, stand alone. Not because you have to, but because that's where the chosen ones stand when the world starts to burn. They never told you what standing alone really costs. It isn't glamorous. It isn't bathed in applause. It's silence. Heavy, suffocating silence that forces you to meet every hidden part of yourself. It's waking up with no one clapping for you, no one validating the war you're fighting inside your own mind. It's watching everything familiar fall apart, only to realize you were meant to build something new from the ashes. Standing alone means you've seen too much of what's fake to settle for it anymore. You've outgrown the noise, the masks, the pretend smiles. You can't unsee what the world really is once your eyes adjust to the dark. And that clarity, it isolates you. Because once you see truth, you can't unsee it. And the people still living inside their illusions, they start to fear you. They say you've changed, but what they mean is you stopped pretending. You stopped shrinking your light so their comfort wouldn't burn. You stopped performing, stopped apologizing, stopped asking permission to exist. That's what they call change. But you didn't change. You returned to yourself. And that return, it terrifies people who never left the crowd. You'll notice something strange when you begin to stand alone. The silence becomes your ally. It starts whispering things the noise never could. You begin to understand your pain like a language. You learn that the breaking wasn't punishment, it was instruction. The losses weren't failures, they were filters, removing what couldn't stay. The longer you stand alone, the more you realize solitude isn't emptiness. It's refinement. It's God carving away what was never truly yours. Because isolation is how He hides you while He builds you. He separates before He elevates. He removes before He reveals. And when He's done, when the silence finally cracks open, you don't come back the same. You come back quieter, sharper, untouchable. You stop chasing people. They start sensing your gravity. You stop explaining yourself. Your energy starts speaking for you. You stop begging for love. You become love that no longer begs. That's what standing alone does. It changes your entire frequency. And suddenly the same ones who called you too much begin calling you inspiring. The same ones who turned their backs begin quoting your strength. They'll call it luck, timing, destiny, anything except what it really was, the consequence of not giving up when you had every reason to. Because in the darkness where no one believed, you kept moving. You spoke truth even when your voice shook. You kept building when everything in you screamed to stop. And that's the secret no one talks about. That the ones who stand alone aren't chosen because they're fearless. They're chosen because they stand anyway. You are not here to be understood. You are not here to fit into rooms built for smaller souls. You are here to redefine the room itself. And maybe that's why you never blended in. Because the world isn't ready for what you carry. You're too loud for its silence, too honest for its comfort, too awake for its sleep. But remember this, every masterpiece begins as a mistake in someone else's eyes. Every revolution begins with one person standing where everyone else walks away. And every time you stand alone, you prove that your existence is not dependent on approval. It's anchored in truth. So if tonight feels heavy, if your chest feels like a battlefield, know that it's supposed to. Because you are being rewritten, and all great stories require destruction before rebirth. So stand, even if your hands tremble, even if your heart cracks beneath the weight. Stand. Because one day, the same world that called you too different will call you divine. Not because you changed for them, but because you stayed true long enough for them to catch up.